Hey guys, welcome back to Blaze Goddess Tarot. For today's picker card reading, we are looking into how does your boss secretly think of you? You got pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Go ahead and pause the reading and pick the pile that calls out to you the most. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose this crystal, then this is your reading. Before we get into it, I do want to say that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you want to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. And if this reading resonates, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. But we're going to go ahead and lay out your tarot cards. So you have Temperance. You have the Page of Cups. You have the Queen of Swords. The High Priestess. And the Lovers. So, starting off with just the tarot cards, I feel like you make a big impact on the work environment. Because you have 3 major arcanas, alright? I feel like with Temperance, there's something that you do that brings a lot of balance into the work environment. I feel like it might be, I feel like for some of y'all, I feel like there might be another coworker that is kind of hard to deal with, but you kind of make it easy. You make it look easy. Maybe there's a coworker that you kind of bring aid to, like if they're being hot-headed, you help level them out, you know what I mean? Like, you can calm somebody down. You can really put order into the teamwork, all right? Like, you're a leader, all right? But not only that, you could be a leader and still not get stuff done. But I feel like your boss feels like you would be an awesome boss as well. All right, with the Queen of Swords being in the middle, you're a leader that people actually want to follow. You're not one of these leaders out here that, talk a big game, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to follow you. You have people that voluntarily follow you. You know what I mean? Like, if they see you doing something with the Page of Cups, you encourage other people to, do other things. Like, for example, if you start sweeping, and somebody else sees that, they're going to want to start sweeping too. Just like a little example. But they also feel like you just come and you already know how to act. You already know how to do your job with the High Priestess. But I feel like you also have a bunch of connections throughout the workplace. Like, they see you as somebody that can get along with anybody. You can do it by yourself, but most importantly, you can get stuff done with others. And they feel like no matter who they put you with, it's like 2 peas in a pod, because you know how to balance another person out. You know how to say, okay, you're doing this part of the work, well, I can do this part. So it makes y'all a great team, no matter who they put you with. So with Temperance, it's like you really do level out a lot of people there. I feel like you might also put some people in their place as well. Because the Queen of Swords is also very sharp with the words, not just sharp with her intelligence. I feel like it also don't take much for you to figure out something. Like, yeah, you're a quick learner, but it's also, if you need to figure something out on your own, you can basically figure it out on your own. I feel like your boss also thinks that you bring up a lot of good ideas. Like, if the company or whoever you're working for needs, you know, a bright idea, you know, I feel like they come to you. You let the workplace flow. Like, you're the reason that things go as good as they go. I feel like also, not only you being like a perfect fit for whoever you're working with, I feel like you also kind of have a good head on your shoulders when it comes to who works best with each other. Like if you have a job where, you know, it's a group of people and you're splitting up responsibilities, I feel like you're not afraid to speak up and say, well, this person and this person, I feel like they would work really good together when it comes to this type of work. Does that make sense? Like, you're not afraid to speak up, you're not afraid to put your ideas out there, and your boss really likes that. I feel like you also bring kind of, you know, some type of fun energy into it. Like, if it's like a competitive work or something like that, I feel like you're not afraid to make it a little fun. Be like, all right, so you might encourage the competition type side of the team to push them, but in a fun way, you know? I guess kind of like a, you know, the first one there, no, the last one there is a rotten egg type deal. Like, you're more of a jokester, but you also take things seriously. Like, you're more on the serious side, but you do have like a little fun side to you. And I think your boss, you might have thrown your boss off, because like during the interview you might have looked very, you know, serious. Maybe you wasn't popping jokes, you know what I mean? And then when you started doing that, your boss was kind of like, whoa, okay. You know, it's like with the lovers, it's like you have two sides of you, and your boss really enjoys it. And I feel like not only your boss enjoys it, but they know that everybody else likes it too. For your oracle card, you have Sharon, healing. There's the keywords for that. You have secret. See, like, look at the two sides on the coin. You have letting go. You have mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslight. And then you have schedule, management, plan, organize. I feel like the secret, the letting go, and the mask, I think it's all basically saying how they didn't think that you were like that until, ooh, I'm so sorry, okay. It's kind of like coming in like a wrecking ball, like it kind of took them off guard. Yeah, like they really didn't think you would be like this. You know, they didn't think you would have this much influence. And it's like now they feel like you're taking that mask off. You're starting to have more of yourself actually come out. And it's like with the schedule card, I feel like it's more, the more time that goes by, the more you actually start coming around. And then the Chiron, the healing, I feel like you bring a lot of healing to this workplace. Like, maybe there was a lot of conflict before showing up. Maybe there was a lot of friction, a lot of people that didn't get along. And I feel like you're kind of there. And you're letting things just kind of like flow off of you. You're not taking it seriously. You know, if there's this one person that gives a lot of attitude off, you still work good with them because you let everything that kind of just, you know, fall off of you. It's not more of a, oh, they said this, they said that. It's more of a, oh, well, that's just them, you know? Because I don't really get a negative feeling off of these cards. I really don't. I mean, maybe your boss is a little afraid that, you know, since they didn't see truly when they interviewed you or when you first came in, they feel like you might have like tricks up your sleeve a little bit. Or maybe that's something that some of y'all's bosses are fearing. But I feel like overall for this group, your boss really does see the impact that you have. Like, you really bring a lot to the table. You help heal, you help soften, you help really bring this team into teamwork, alright? I feel like you're getting to the point where you're starting to learn more about your job and more about other people's jobs as well. And like, I'm kind of getting drawn to, you know, this eye crying and then going over to this leaf. It's like you're like somebody's crying into you and you're kind of just letting it off. I feel like your boss may know that you help comfort a lot of people as well. So it's not you just working at a personal level. I feel like you also do care about the people that you're with, that you're working with. And it's not just work. Like, you can still get stuff done and still be there for people. You know? Like, if a coworker came up to you and they're like, you know, I feel some type of way, you know, there's a lot going on, I need somebody. You would be there for them. But you would still get your job done at a reasonable time. I feel like some of your bosses may think that it's actually in your schedule to take care of people sometimes. Maybe you're a caregiver or something like that, you know? Or maybe you work with the public, and so when somebody comes to you and they say, you know, I can't find something, or I'm having a problem with X, Y, and Z, you can go the extra mile and get on a personal level and really help that person out. Coworker, customer, client, whatever it is. But with the Queen of Swords, I do also feel like very, very smart. So if you need to let go of a certain situation, you can definitely let go. You have no problem with it. And it's like the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess, like, these look like the same women, you know, because of the dress, the hairstyle. So I feel like you get it from different points of view, you know what I mean? Like, you could do it here, you could do it there. No matter where they put you, you're just a good fit. Alright, pile number 1, that is all I'm getting for you. So if this reading resonates, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. If you want to book a private reading with me, BlazedGoddess.com is where you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Bye! Hi, pile number 2. If you chose this crystal, then this is your reading. Before we get into it, I do want to say that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you want to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. And if this reading resonates, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. But we're going to go ahead and start by laying out your tarot cards. So you have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, okay, weird enough. You have the Ten of Swords, okay. You have the Justice card, and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like something will 100% happen. Alright. I feel like for some of y'all, it might have been a past work environment. And you kind of had a rough ending with them. And you came reaching out for help. You came reaching out for a different career path. And that's when you found this job. And it's like a perfect fit for you. Your boss feels like if that story resonates with you, because I feel like this is two different stories, okay? So the first one, it's your old work environment. It got the best of you. And you ended up going down a complete different career path, right? And it's turned out to be a good fit for you, okay? And your boss secretly thinks that, you know, karma kind of evened out the score. They might feel like your past work environment is, you know, is going to get karma, or, you know, is going to face some type of problems because, or they even see it as kind of like a lawsuit type. Because if your past work environment really did you dirty, then, you know, over time they're going to get their karma. Something's going to not be in their favor. And you are going to be able to see it happen, alright? I feel like for others of y'all, if it wasn't a past work environment, then I do feel like something may have happened between you and them, alright? You have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, alright? The reason I keep saying something must have happened is because of this Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is in the middle of the spread, alright? So it's mainly getting my attention, alright? Something had to happen, alright? With the King and Queen, I feel like you and your boss was a perfect match, alright? They saw you as an equal. They feel like if they was to get an assistant or get a helper, it would be you, alright? If they had to pass their position down to anybody else, it would be you, alright? And I think it's pretty cool because, like, if you look at this King of Wands, you can see, like, a little bit of fire right there, right? And then over here, you got the dragon in the background, you know, blowing the steam off. So they feel like y'all was not only a perfect fit, but it was meant to be, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. But with the Ten of Swords, something happened. Either, you know, with the assistant part, they got told no, that they can't have you as an assistant, and it made them upset. Or maybe you got upset, or maybe they got upset, you know? Something happened. And, you know, what also got my attention is the King of Wands has this red cape on, and then the Ten of Swords, you know, the dude running away has a red cape. So it's like something happened, and it's like they're, I guess, trying to protect themselves from a lawsuit. Because with the Justice card, you have the law book open, and you see two kitty cats fighting, but the scale is fair. The scale is even. So maybe you had a fallout with a coworker, and you expressed your concerns. You know, you spoke up. And maybe the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, maybe, you know, everybody wants to say the King and the Queen, you know, if they're matching, then they're more of a counterpart. So maybe y'all try to get along, but then something happened and they had to choose their job over the connection. Alright, so let's say y'all had like a near accident or an incident at work, or you and this coworker got into it and had some words. Something may have happened and you brought it to them, and that's where the friction came on because it had to do with legal documents, the law. I feel like other ones of y'all, maybe your boss made you think that y'all was a match, and then later on, you know, too much of a good thing turned into a bad thing. and now they're trying to figure out how to, I just heard even score, but I feel like it's more of a keep things equal, and then maybe in the future something else can happen. But right now I feel like, you know, there was a bunch of situations that I just explained, but something happened. All right, if none of those resonate and nothing happened between you and your co-workers, or between you and your boss, maybe it had to do something outside of work. Maybe it has something to do with like a lease, you know, maybe you were starting to lose your place and your boss really wants to help you out, but there's only so much they can do without getting in trouble. All right, like maybe, because the Wheel of Fortune is kind of giving me long-term type energy for some reason. It's more of a, they can only help you little bit by little bit right now until, you know, you see an improvement. But something with the Ten of Swords happened, okay? So if any of those didn't resonate with you and you didn't have a fallout with anything, and it's been pretty good between you and your coworkers and you and your boss, then maybe they feel intimidated. Maybe they feel intimidated. Maybe they feel like they have to sabotage you in order to keep things the way they are, to keep their position. Because, you know, with Justice, you know, she has her eye peeking out. So maybe they're keeping a close eye on you. Let's look into your oracle cards. You have 7th house, relating, partners, companionships, best friends, marriage, relationship. That's weird. There's Justice again. Is the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, that could be, you know, counterpart, like I said earlier. Hunt. You have isolation right underneath the Ten of Swords. Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. And then you have marriage, secret love, couple, dependency. I said secret, that's sweet love. Okay. Maybe your boss does have like a little crush on you, and that fear and that intimidation, maybe it was because, you know, they started having feelings for you and it scared them. So now they're trying not to look at the situation directly. They're trying to get away from this feeling because they know that it's not going to work out with the isolation card. Maybe in a work environment, you know, they can't do that. Or they can get in trouble, they can lose their job. So it's like they have this urge to come towards you. You know, there's the eye. You know, I said they're trying to keep an eye on you. But it's like, it hurts them because, you know, maybe this doesn't have to be, you know, oh, your boss loves you, they have a secret crush on you. I feel like you would know that if they did, alright? Or maybe they flirt with you to time, you know? But I feel like mostly, if you did have a bad experience with a past work environment, they see how much that has an effect on you. They see how emotionally you are towards the people, towards your passions, between, you know, just all parts of the job. And maybe they saw how much of an impact it had on you. So now it's like they want to help you heal. They want to be like the perfect boss for you. They want to have like a good work environment. Like they want to just take care of you and make it where you really like your job. You really love the environment. You can't see yourself leaving. with this Hunt card, I feel like they do keep an extra eye on you to make sure they can eliminate any other problems that may rise up. With the Healing Heart, you know, healing from heartbreak, maybe from this past work environment, or maybe if it's not a work environment, like your past work environment, maybe it's something happening on, you know, during this job. They see how much it affects you and how much they really want to work through it. Maybe again, if it's between you and a coworker, there's only so much they can do, so they're trying to at least show you that they do care about you, even if it has something to do with the law and they can't really do too much about the actual situation because of legal documents. But it's like they really want to be emotionally there for you. They want to have like two worlds collide type energy. Because I only feel like this boss has a crush on you if you already know. Maybe they flirt with you. Maybe they drop hints the time to time. But with the Wheel of Fortune and the Healing Heart, I feel like they're going to start seeing a different side of you. Like they see you healing and they can't wait for a healed version of you to come out. Or at least somewhere that you could be comfortable. But it's like overall, no matter what story you go with, this boss seen or sees you going through a hard part of your job, or at least your career path in general, and they really feel for it. You know, they really feel you. They want to be there. They want to really emotionally support you with and without this job, you know. So your boss really does care about you. They really, really do. They just see you going through a hard part and they wish they could do more for you. But that is all I got for you, pile number 2. If this reading resonated, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. If you want to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddessTarot.com. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. If you choose this crystal, then this is your reading. Before we get into it, I do want to say that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you want to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description at BlazedGoddess.com. And if this reading resonates, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. But we're going to go ahead and start by laying out your tarot cards. You have the 10 of Wands. You have the 5 of Pentacles. You have the Tower. You have the Hierophant. And then you have the Page of Coins. I'll be honest with you, these are kind of negative cards. Don't know what you did to your boss or whatever. Or maybe this boss just has a negative mindset in general. But the first feeling I got, if I'm being honest, because that's what I'm here for, is to be honest. It's like this boss does not like you. Like with the 10 of Wands, they feel like maybe you put too much on this boss. Like maybe like every little thing that happens in the work environment, you immediately run to your boss and you tell them all the problems you have, and it's like you immediately look for a solution. And like you're doing your job, but maybe this boss just doesn't like to do theirs, you know? So it looks like, you know, you're putting too much on them, you're putting too much responsibility. Maybe your boss thinks that you can't handle responsibility. The 5 of Wands talks about being left out in the cold. So maybe this boss feels like you have too much on your plate. Maybe your boss feels like because I am getting kind of like a negative vibe at first, if I'm being honest. Like, maybe your boss thinks that you're a crybaby. If nothing goes your way, then you have like a temper tantrum, and then you kind of like blow up with the tower. Like, if you have a problem and they don't get it solved, then you kind of make it a problem for everybody, which is valid, because like, why aren't you doing your job? But with the Hierophant and the Page of Coins, I feel like if your boss is kind of salty with you, then it's kind of like they can't really do anything about it, because at the end of the day, you're still doing your job. They don't have a valid reason to fire you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they feel like they kind of are stuck with you at this point. Oh, bless me. But if your boss is not so negative, then I feel like maybe, like pile number 2, you have just a lot going on. Maybe you and your boss is a little more personal than most bosses. And with the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, maybe you have a lot on your plate. Maybe you got a lot of emotional stuff going on, and they see you go through these experiences. And with the Tower, they feel like they've seen you change over the time that you've been there. I feel like days, months. And with the Hierophant, they still see you as somebody that pulls through, somebody that still gets their job done, somebody that still, puts in effort. And with the Page of Coins, I said Wands. With the Page of Wands, I feel like I still said Page of Wands. The Page of Coins shows that, like, they think that you still show up. You still have something to say. You still have something to do. They feel like they want to give you some type of reward, I feel like. What does your boss secretly think of you? Maybe you're an overachiever. Maybe you're an overworker. Maybe you work too much. Maybe you're too committed to the job. Maybe you just had a loss. Maybe you're losing a lot right now. They see your personal life more than that you think they do. Alright? But it's kind of like an onion. You have layers to you, so it's like... But it's kind of... I don't know. I don't know, because your boss is like... Something definitely happened with you, either at work or personal, whatever the case may be. Your boss still sees you as somebody that comes through. Maybe you had a fallout with one of the coworkers, and instead of making that a big deal, you ended up having a compromise with this person and said, okay, well, we still have to work together, so, X, Y, and Z. And your boss really has heard that through the grapevine, and they really, I guess, admire you for it. Because you still show up, with the Hierophant and the Page of Coins. No matter how your boss feels or what part of the story this resonates with you, this boss still appreciates you. They still They still see you as a good worker regardless of whatever else is going on. But I think the first 3 cards, whatever situation you feel resonates with you, they hear that, they still think of that, but they still, like, it pulls them back to, well, they're still a good worker. Because if they're able to have all that on their plate and still come to work and still put in effort, then it makes them want to be there for you a little bit more too. Let's look into your oracle cards. You have 12th house surrender, and there is the keywords for that. Yeah, like you're healing, you're still doing your job. You just got a lot on your plate, and I feel like with this chest all closed up and all locked up, it's like they want to be there for you, but it's really hard to be there. You know, you have 2 people here and you have 2 people there. You have freedom. You have guidance. You have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. And then you have self-love, self-concern, self-healing, independence. So I feel like maybe they see you as somebody that don't like their job. Maybe they see you as somebody that wants this freedom. Maybe they want you to find that type of freedom with whatever situation resonates with you, you know? Maybe you have something going on outside of work, and maybe they want to help you. I like how this has a bunch of smoke, and then this kind of looks like the same thing. You know, the same type of layout. But surrender, I think that's pretty cool that came out, because it's like, again, talks about how they want to be there for you, right? And they want you to heal. They want to have forgiveness with you, depending on, you know, what type of situation you're in. Maybe they see the situation as you got manipulated. Maybe you got gaslighted, you know. Or maybe they see you trying to find another job. Something more, you know, beneficial. Maybe this relationship, or maybe this work environment kind of ran its course, and they see that you feel like that, and now you're starting to fly off. Maybe it's even kind of healing for you to fly off, you know, and find another job, because they would see it as you putting yourself first. Maybe this job has become too stressful for you. Maybe you even tried to let go and try to, you know, just focus on yourself and not everybody else, but maybe it didn't work as well. They see you as kind of, you've done the best you can with this job, and now it's time for you to find something better. You know what I mean? Like, because even with the guidance card, you see the girl in the back, like, she's green, and that talks about healing the heart chakra. And then even with the 12th house surrender, you have healing. It also talks about forgiveness and baggage. So maybe your boss thinks that this is just too much for you. You know? Maybe they want you to let this job go so you can find something better for yourself, something that's more deserving of your energy, something more deserving of who you are as a person. maybe they just see this job kind of has ran its course and you need to expand more. You need to level up and leave this place behind. They think that you're better than this job, and it's time to set your wings free, you know. And I feel like maybe you're not the only one, because, you know, there's 2 people here, 2 people here, 2 people, 2 people, you know, and then you got another 2 people. Maybe they see you and this other person, you know. Maybe you've been talking to another coworker about leaving. Maybe that coworker snitched you out or something. Or maybe it's a coworker that's been talking about leaving, and then all of a sudden you're next to him and you keep up talking. So maybe your boss is kind of going off of assumptions. I just feel like overall, no matter what side of the stick you look at, if your boss don't like you, if your boss does like you, either way, this boss feels like it's just time for you to set your wings free and, you know, go find another job. Because either this is putting too much stress on you, or maybe you're putting too much stress on your boss. There's something of that nature. Like, your boss feels like it would just be better for you to find something else that kind of suits you better, or helps you feel more emotionally involved with yourself. Because maybe you're doing something that you don't really enjoy, but just for the money. I don't know. Either way, your boss don't really see you as, you know, a very happy person at the work environment. Like, you still show up, but they feel like you would be better off getting something else, regardless of how they personally feel about you. But alright, pile number 3, that is all I got for you. If this reading resonated, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to the channel. If you want to book a private reading with me, BlazedGoddessTarot is where you go. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Bye!